The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Introduction. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle is a spiritual guide that teaches how to live in the present moment to achieve inner peace and happiness. Tolle explains that most human suffering comes from overthinking the past or worrying about the future. By focusing on the now, we free ourselves from unnecessary pain and connect with our true selves. The book blends Eastern spirituality with practical Western psychology, making deep concepts accessible. Chapter 1. You are not your mind. Eckhart Tolle begins by explaining that most people are trapped in their thoughts, believing that their incessant thinking is who they are. He argues that this identification with the mind is the root of suffering. The constant mental noise, worries about the future, regrets about the past, creates anxiety and unhappiness. True freedom comes from realizing that you are not your thoughts, but the awareness behind them. By observing your mind without judgment, you create space between yourself and your thinking, allowing peace to emerge. Chapter 2. Consciousness, the way out of pain. Tolle introduces the concept of the pain body, an accumulation of past emotional wounds that feed on negativity. He explains that suffering arises when we resist the present moment, clinging to what should be rather than accepting what is. The key to dissolving pain is conscious presence, fully embracing the now without resistance. When we stop fighting reality and simply observe our emotions, the pain body loses its grip and inner peace becomes possible. Chapter 3. Moving deeply into the now. This chapter explores how to fully inhabit the present moment. Tolle suggests that most people live in a state of psychological time, always projecting into the future or dwelling on the past. True life exists only in the now. He offers practical ways to anchor oneself in the present, such as focusing on the breath or observing the sensations in the body. By letting go of mental distractions, we experience a deeper sense of aliveness and clarity. Chapter 4. Mind strategies for avoiding the now. Tolle examines the tricks the mind uses to escape the present, such as complaining, blaming, or waiting for some future moment to bring happiness. He explains how the ego thrives on dissatisfaction, keeping us trapped in endless mental loops. The solution is to recognize these patterns and consciously choose presence instead. When we stop seeking fulfillment in the future and fully accept the present, we find that joy is already here. Chapter 5. The State of Presence. Here, Tolle describes what it means to be truly present. Presence is a state of pure awareness, free from thought-based identity. He explains that in moments of deep stillness, such as in nature or during meditation, we touch the essence of who we really are. The mind may try to pull us back into thinking, but with practice, we can return to presence effortlessly. This state is not something to achieve, but to remember, as it is our natural way of being. Chapter 6. The Inner Body. Tolle introduces the idea of the inner body, the subtle energy field within us that can be felt when attention is turned inward. By focusing on this inner aliveness, we ground ourselves in the present and detach from compulsive thinking. He suggests simple exercises like feeling the hands or the breath to reconnect with the body's wisdom. This practice weakens the ego's dominance and brings a sense of wholeness. Chapter 7. Portals into the unmanifested. This chapter explores deeper dimensions of presence, where the mind dissolves into pure consciousness. Tolle calls these moments portals, glimpses into the formless, eternal aspect of reality. Silence, stillness, and surrender are gateways to this transcendent state. He explains that while the manifested world, physical reality, is temporary, the unmanifested, pure awareness, is eternal. By accessing these portals, we touch the timeless essence of existence. Chapter 8. Enlightened Relationships. Tolle applies the teachings of presence to relationships. He explains that most conflicts arise when people identify with their egos, projecting past pain onto others. True connection happens when two people meet in presence, free from judgment and neediness. Love is not an emotion, but a state of being, an openness to the now. By bringing awareness into interactions, relationships become a path to awakening rather than a source of suffering. Chapter 9. Beyond happiness and unhappiness, there is peace. Tolle concludes by stating that seeking happiness as a future goal is futile because it keeps us trapped in time. Real peace comes from surrendering to the present, regardless of external circumstances. He distinguishes between pleasure, which depends on conditions, and joy, which arises from inner stillness. When we stop chasing happiness and simply rest in awareness, we discover a deeper, unshakable peace that is always available. Final thoughts. The power of now is a guide to freeing ourselves from the tyranny of the mind. Tolle's teachings remind us that true peace is not found in changing our lives, but in changing our relationship with the present moment. By practicing presence, we awaken to the deeper reality beyond thought, a state of pure being where suffering dissolves and life is lived fully, one moment at a time. Thanks for your time. See you later.